Hello Libra, welcome to your June 15th to June 30th, 2021 reading. If you know your sun, moon, and rising signs, be sure to check out those readings as well for a more well-rounded reading. All right, let's go ahead and begin. We are starting out with the Five of Wands. So we're transitioning from a Five of Wheels. Excuse my mistake there. So we're starting out from a position of sort of having a bit of financial difficulties. Financial loss is the biggest thing that's tethered to Five of Wheels. So really experiencing that sort of hard times financially, economically. And this is something that you are facing right now and you're trying to move away from. You're looking at the circumstances as they are. You're trying to make the best of it. So in this particular image right now, we have them actually burning these last wheels and they're huddled around it. So it's one of those things where they're trying to make the best of their resources. The last bit of resource they have right here is giving them a warm fire before they can move on. And in this particular image, you can actually perceive them or imagine them not only standing here and warming up, but talking and communicating with each other about what the future steps are. What can they do once this has been diminished, once they have managed to finish what's left of these particular resource, once this has burned down and it's no longer giving them heat, and they feel rejuvenated because they've stopped and they're absorbing this warmth right now. But in this process of absorbing this warmth, they can be discussing what's the next step. How do we move from here? What direction do we go? They can take a pause, take a moment, become regrounded in the circumstances of what they have in their resources right now. Look around them and see in the distance, in the horizon, where is there chimney fire? Because where there's a chimney fire, there's probably another home. So it's a pause. It's a pause that's been forced upon you because of circumstances, whether those circumstances were of your own path. This is just choices that you made have led to this, or whether these are circumstances that have been thrust upon you. It doesn't matter. It is where you are right now. And so in this moment, in this pause, you can take opportunity to sort of become reflective and be able to reground yourself, reconstitute yourself with what it is that you desire, and then build from that, move from that, rejuvenate, find the moment to sort of take a breath, and become grounded. Keeps being repeated to me. Become grounded. And from that moment, heal, rejuvenate to the best of your ability with the resources at hand, and then move forward. In that moment of reflecting and that pause, you can look at your surroundings, and then you can get a better insight about which direction you need to go that's going to be more bountiful for you, that's going to be paying back positively, that you've been searching for and needing for. But in this moment, this is the time to stop, take a pause, and not only heal, rest, get warm, reground yourself, but also plan for the future. Plan what direction that you need to go. This is what I feel you're experiencing right now. This is the energy that is surrounding the beginning of this reading. And it's just a moment of pause. This is not a permanent situation. And this is validated with the very next card. In the very next card, we have the Sun. You have the opportunity to move from this into better times, to make situations and scenarios work for you. So instead of being overwhelmed of the lack that you're experiencing and the hardship that you're experiencing, this is in no way invalidating that. This is true. It is hard times that you have come up upon. But take it, the scenario and the situation that you're experiencing right now, take that as a means to be able to find the direction to move that's going to take you to happier times, because it's available to you. Just take the moment to heal, to as best you can, recuperate as best you can, and then find that focal point that's in the horizon that you can see that is going to be the right direction to go. Latch on to that and say, okay, once this fire has dwindled down, once I have rested enough, I'm going that way because I see the sun there. I see warmth there that I don't have to burn my last resources for. I see, you know, something in the horizon there that I can fixate on and I can work towards because I know in that direction what I want is there. And that's what you're being told to do. Take this time to look in the horizon. Take this pause to look in the horizon. What is out there that you know that is what you want, that you will work for that. You will walk towards that. You will keep your eyes fixed on that and go in that direction because that's where the warmth is that you won't have to create. It will already be there for you. This is what you're supposed to be doing with this time. While you're going through this, we have the Hanged Man, and it's just really asking you to look at things from a different perspective. Look at things from a different angle. Try to see things from a perspective. And this is one of the reasons why I'm struggling with saying the right words, because I don't want you to take this in the wrong way, because I feel like you were just really overwhelmed with the circumstances that you're going through right now. You're really overwhelmed with the point of hardship that you're experiencing right now. And I don't want to invalidate that at all, because you are going through some hard times. That this card is saying that. This card is a validation of that. But you're not supposed to fixate on the hard times. You're supposed to fixate on what is potentially in the horizon for you to move towards, that you can build bigger for yourself with. So taking a different perspective, instead of the different perspective is, instead of focusing on what is now, focused rather on what can be, what you see in the horizon. That's what you're being asked to do with this time and with this experience, because ultimately, eventually, you will be experiencing a bit of victory. The Six of Wands has to do with victory, having succeeded, being the victor, the celebrated victor of a war, of a complication, of a chaotic. I had the word and it left, but just that experience of coming through victorious. That is on the horizon. This is all on the horizon, but you get there. And if you notice, this card is in the middle. You get there from a different perspective. You can't fixate on the hardship. The card validates the hardship. But the request by those who guide you, who led you to this video, is to not look at the meager things that are in front of you. Look at the sun in the horizon. Fixate your perspective at this new angle, at this new thing to be focused on. Because eventually you have in the horizon the opportunity to come out victorious, the opportunity to come out successful. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and it just speaks of the turning of time, of how this is all a process of time. This is all going to take a bit to get to that dawning in the horizon, that sun in the horizon, that thing that you're supposed to find and focus on, that helps you to guide yourself out of where you are now. There's the turning of time is key in this, and you have to participate in that turning of time. You have to participate in moving forward and do what you have to do. If you practice any sort of spiritual, if you have a spiritual practice, you're supposed to tap into the sources that are available for you to do the workings to kind of push the energy in that direction, to kind of draw things at that focal point, not just draw your attention to that focal thing, but to draw the energy of everything that's surrounding you to that focal, kind of make a bottleneck, and then so that you can walk amongst it into and through to the other side, so you can experience that victorious elation at the other side of this. We have the card of perspective again, and I really feel, like I said, I was really struggling with the words at the beginning, because I feel like that sense of hardship that you're experiencing, that has led you to this video, whether you're going through it right now or you're kind of coming out of it and you're still trying to make sense of it all, perspective is key. Perspective is key. And again, you're not, this Five of Wheels is validating that it is a hard time. Your guides, whoever you work with, spirit, however you refer to your higher self or your source of spirituality, It's recognizing that your focus is on the hardship. It's recognizing that you are indeed going through hardship, but it's also telling you that you're focused too much on the hardship and you need to switch your perspective. Like I said, you have two different cards here that's really talking about perspective, and your perspective is holding you back instead of giving you the fuel to push you forward. And that's what they're asking of you. They're asking you to switch your perspective, not to invalidate how you feel, but to switch your perspective so that it becomes the fuel to your fire for moving forward, to getting through this, to getting to the other side, and to becoming victor on the other side, and to make it so that this all becomes part of your past, part of a growing pains, to becoming just to the other side of this, whatever it is. And I'm not getting clarity on what it is specifically, and I think it's because they want to validate you are going through hard times, but you can get to the other side of it, and you will get to the other side of it. But focusing on the hard times is what's helping you or causing you to linger too much. We have authenticity, and I feel like this is talking about your connection to the spiritual side, to the spiritual self. So you have gotten messages, and you still are getting messages, but you're questioning your connection. You're questioning the authenticity of your connection. And you're just, this experience is really kind of, it's been a struggle. And I'm feeling that struggle with the way I'm trying to get the reading across. Like, I'm experiencing your struggle that you're going through. I'm experiencing in the process of trying to do this reading. Again, it's just another validation of how much of a struggle this is, because this is, I am getting a good sense of it with just trying to communicate. So take that to heart, to let you know, to encourage you that it is a struggle. They're not invalidating that at all. In fact, this is all validating. I can't say it enough. It keeps getting told to me over and over again. This is what keeps coming across. And so this is just something about this experience that they want to validate, that indeed this is a struggle. You are going through a struggle. They recognize this. They recognize this. They have not left your side. They haven't abandoned you. You're not alone, but you're still strong enough to get through this. This is not something that you are going through alone, and this is not something that you have to feel like that this is the end all be all. Like, they really want you to feel like you have the strength and the power to be able to move through this. They really want you to recognize that you don't have to stay here. You don't have to stop and stay. You can move on. It's available for you. So your connection, you want to tap into that spiritual connection that feels authentic to you. And I'm getting told that you need to maybe tap into parts of your connection that you may have started with and have strayed from. Not that your connection has strayed, but that your access points, or the way that you used to connect, and you've changed your means of connection to your higher guides, to your spirit, to your higher self, whatever it is that you work with. You've transitioned, you've gone through experiences that has had you kind of change how you do your connection in your spiritual practice. And you're being reminded to go back to that, to remember how powerful it is. Some of those connections that you had, like a year or so ago, what you did to connect, they're saying, go ahead and go back to that, return to some of those and repeat those, to kind of feel more authentic in your connection. It's not that your connections are not authentic, because they are authentic, but they're new enough that you're starting to question it. So they're saying, go back to some of those old techniques to connect with them, so that you can feel confident, because you've done the practice before like that. And so you can do that out of habit. And then therefore, any connection and messages you get from that particular connection, you won't question if it's authentic or not, because you'll have that sort of muscle memory kind of thing. going on. So go back to some of your old practices as far as connection is concerned, so you'll no longer question the authenticity of your connection and what you're getting through those connections. And then they're reminding you, when I'm in alignment with love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. It's not so much that you're not in alignment with the universe as much as you're kind of pushing back a little bit. And I can understand the fear-based, the struggle. Like I said, I'm really struggling with communicating, and usually I talk really fast when I'm doing these readings. And I do believe that this struggle on my part, as far as communication is concerned, is just another aspect of the reading as far as what you're experiencing. It's sort of it's a validation. It's also a symbol. It's a symbol of the struggle that you're going through. My speech struggle right now in this reading is a symbol of the struggle that you're experiencing. So, yeah, they're validating the struggle, but they're letting you know that you can still be in alignment. You can still feel peace through all of this. Just, really work on that perspective so that you can get to the other side, moving that wheel of time, along with being part of what moves the wheel of time, being part of the energy that shifts and turns that, because you have it in you to do that. But it takes changing your perspective from being so fixated on what is, instead of finding a focal point on what could be. All right, Libras, that is all I have for you. I hope this reading has given you everything that you would hope for and more. Remember, I do personal individual readings. The links are in the box below if you should be interested in one. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs if you want a more well-rounded reading that could be available for you. Other than that, I hope you have a beautiful end of the month of June, and hopefully I will see you in a future video.